So
Everybody agrees, right? You have to push okay, or just me?
I pushed okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Got it.
okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we
So
are now
far, I can hear
recording.
I might be able to see Kate very soon up in the Pacific Northwest. I'm heading up that way.
Yeah.
Hola,
Good.
Alfonso.
Hola, how are you?
Oh.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien.
Muy bien.
Hola, Alfonso.
Hola. I'm
Good to
connecting
see you.
from Medellin, Colombia.
Wow.
Here at the same time, like the East Coast of the US, Canada. So it's 11 p.m.
Yes.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Well,
Very,
it looks like oh, that was a chat pop-up. Okay. It looks like everyone's either in the US or Puerto Rico. Yvette, are you in the States or in Puerto Rico right now?
No, I'm now in Texas, back in Texas.
Oh.
Okay.
So it's 8 after 10 here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like 8 minutes after 8 here
Mm-hmm.
on the West Coast.
That's convenient.
Yeah, it is.
So should we have an of some sort? I mean, are we supposed to be asking each person to speak and say something?
I think once we're past the initial hellos and all that kind of stuff, yeah, we can go around and do that. That sounds like a good idea. I was expecting we'd probably have 10 or 15 more people on here, but
Yeah, I was hoping for the people that lived else. Oh, here's some. Oh, iPhone 2 doesn't say who, but let's see. I'll admit them.
Hope everybody had a great birthday.
We did.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
did.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mine was delayed. I did something fun today, so spent time on our family farm.
That's
So
Oh, that's
My
nice.
birthday's not till next
Nice.
Friday.
yeah.
Oh, do you have anything planned?
Celebrate the whole month. That's what I'm doing.
What did you say?
Celebrate the whole month.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would if work would let me. Stellium in the 6th house. There you go.
Mm.
I was
Yeah.
working on work stuff today when I was off work.
Sounds like
Who's on the iPhone over there?
Yeah, I don't know. Someone just came in, says iPhone only. Let's see.
Oh.
Oh, Tina's here. Let me let Tina in.
Okay.
Well, nice. Looks like
Let's-
Tina's maybe still working on settings too.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, hold on. Hi.
Ah, there we go.
Hello. Happy birthday.
Happy
Yes,
Happy
happy-
birthday,
Happy
everyone.
birthday to everyone.
Happy birthday.
Oh.
Happy 62, everybody.
Hey.
God.
I know. Who's already had a birthday? Who's yet?
still-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday.
I got my flower.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we went to the hot springs, which was kind of fun. They have a ways to go though. It's really old and they're remodeling everything, so it's like parts of it weren't quite really ready for prime time and such.
They just opened up. They just
They
reopened.
just reopened on February 1st. It had been owned by a Bible college for about 30 years, and they just sold it to the resort a few months ago, and the resort just opened, kind of like a preliminary opening. Couple of the restaurants are open, some of the hotel rooms are open, the bathhouse and most of the pools are open, but they're still like short on furniture and fixtures and stuff like that, and there's still active remodeling going on. So it's a little bit, and we'd never been there before, because it was something else.
Yeah.
But the hot springs, I've not felt that relaxed and alert at the same time in quite a long time.
Nice.
So it was nice, because it's
Hey, can I jump
geothermal.
in real quick, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on a plane, as you can see, so it's really good to meet everybody for the first time. Happy birthday, everyone. Would love to be in on the next call. I understand Andrea, I think, is scheduling one for, is it next Sunday? So I'm going to try to attend that one. But just wanted to pop in and say hi because they're going to tell me to go into flight mode soon. So
Oh,
All right.
Understood.
where you
Thanks
have,
Understood.
where are you
and
going?
Dan, I'm going home. I've been in Sedona and Phoenix for the week, so I spent my birthday in Sedona
How?
Nice.
with
Nice.
some very, very magical people. So I'll have to tell you guys about it at another trip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
wait-
look forward to
travel.
hearing about that on the next Zoom.
Have a
Yeah,
good
sounds good. Dan
Have a
and
safe
Elizabeth,
flight.
thanks for hosting the call.
My pleasure.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna
Bye.
hop off. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Lauren.
Bye.
Bye, Lauren.
Cool.
Okay, did everybody have something prepared? Because I didn't. I didn't get to.
No.
That would be very unappropriate. but Planned ahead.
What was that
And I
post about procrastination the other day?
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That was so true. That was so true.
Were we supposed to prepare something? So I didn't even read that.
Well, we kind of wanted to put out some kind of a general message to the world, or whatnot. I mean, I'm pretty informal about this stuff. I'm just a regular, well, as regular as you can get for a super Aquarian. But yeah, I'm not anybody famous other than on Facebook, so yeah. But I don't know. Does anybody want to start, or should we just like go
Okay.
in the order of who's appearing where on the screen, or?
Oh, I'm in speaker view now because I'm on my phone, so I only see one person.
I only see one person too.
Well, I'm on a 26-inch monitor in the garage, so I'm seeing, the whole grid. Does that mean I have to call them out?
I can
I'll
see
just
the
off
grid
and
on my
mute.
phone.
I'm on a phone and I can see just about everybody. I have to flip up
Oh.
back and forth, but I
Oh.
can see you.
Yeah, same with me.
It might matter if you're in landscape or portrait orientation with the phone.
Okay, I can see more. I can see more people like this. But
Oh yeah, that's even more, I guess. Not everybody turned, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I can see less when I'm in here.
I see
Everybody's
more
going
this way.
sideways.
Oh, you know what? I'm in the chat. That's why I can't see anybody. Hi.
There we go.
I was like,
Christine, I
great
love
back-
your look. Oh, what? I was just cracking up at Christine's like outer space behind her and her curlers in her hair
Yes.
and her crown.
Christine has launched.
A sparkly purple tiara.
Yeah. I usually do my videos from out in the garage, which, as you can see, that's where I wound up. I was trying to use the PC in my office, and a couple of the pieces of software I wanted to use are not working at all right now, updates and whatnot. So I just like bailed and ran out here. it's kind of like the shoemaker's son, you know, when you're working on everybody else's tech, you never get to touch your own,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
It's like the chef who eats popcorn for dinner.
it's probably too tired to cook after being in the kitchen all day at work.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, on the good side of things, I'm effectively transferring from the San Bernardino and High Desert area down to the San Diego market starting Monday. So big change in the air there. I did all the wind up for the High Desert route, turned it over to the new guy on Wednesday, and there's, you know, a lot of follow-up items, you know, bullet point stuff for him to go through and follow up on and whatnot. And I'm sure I'll be like, yeah, hello, what about this? You know, for a year or so. But you know, I'm looking forward to not having to drive 4.5 hours one way home from some of those farther out places I had to cover for the last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you live near San Diego or in San Diego?
I'm about an hour north of San Diego in regular traffic. With all the road construction, it's like 2 hours right now. But I'm in a town called Temecula. It's a little wine country area. It's about an hour from the coast
I
inland
have friends in that town.
in Temecula.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
it's not that big a town yet. I think it's like somewhere like 125,000, somewhere around there. Yeah.
One of the Aquastels he's a Pisces son. I think his birthday's the 19th. His name's James Beard, and he lives. He hasn't participated in the group, but he used to live in North Carolina, and I've met him in person. He does breath work.
Oh,
Yeah, I have yet to meet any of you in person. Yeah, interestingly enough.
A few years ago, I met Jody Conrad in Oregon.
Oh,
Nice.
right.
Yeah.
Speaking of her, I looked for her the other day because she hasn't been posting.
Yeah, I had noticed that too.
I met Jody as well. You know, she
Okay.
was working at the high school in my town. And then we went
Okay.
out for coffee one day. Yeah. So where are you in Oregon? You're in Oregon, Sue?
No, my sister lives there. I'm in Iowa.
Oh, okay. So you were
So
visiting.
my sister's in southern Oregon
Oh, that's where I am. Yeah.
by Cave Junction.
Okay, not too far. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Zoe's out here too. Zoe Barkley.
Yeah, I haven't met her. I mean, I talked to her on here, but I've never. Someday when I get back out there again, I'd
I
like to
think
meet her too.
Zoe's trying to join in
there's
from her
Yeah, I
iPad
saw
there.
that.
Hey.
Yeah.
Where is
Just
she?
admit.
There's your name.
Oh, there
Mhm.
she is.
She doesn't
She's
know
coming.
She's
stand up.
working on the settings and stuff.
Zoe
Yeah.
is on the coast,
So,
but she used to live in Southern Oregon, and we have a lot of this. We have a lot of friends in common. We
Yeah.
love.
Okay. All right.
Tina, how far are you from Fort Bragg?
I don't know. I don't know where Fort Bragg is.
It's far northern California.
Yeah, I'm 48. I'm at exit 48 and on the off the 5. So 48
Bragg.
miles off from the California border. And
Yeah. 'Cause I think they're not that far from the state line. My niece and her husband own a small hotel up in Fort Bragg, California. It's like the
Wow.
Seabird Lodge. So they're not that far. I haven't they've owned it probably for 5 years now, and I still haven't made it up there because it's 11 hours one way up there.
oh wow, yeah. So you're pretty far south.
Mhm.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
would
I'm an hour
probably-
from San Diego. Yeah.
Would be like an hour for me.
Yeah, it takes me 7 hours to get to San Francisco.
Wow.
Yeah. About 4 hours to Vegas. I think that's right where Becky is.
Yeah.
So I've been calling in my mind. I've been calling Zoe Zoe, but it's a 2-syllable name. Is
Yeah.
that right? Okay.
Either way. Either way.
So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I find I got the audio going.
Yep, we're hearing you now. Yep.
Oh, okay, good. I'm listening.
Yeah, I figured you could probably hear us.
Yeah.
So Dan, should we have everybody do a check-in? Kind of where they're at, what's going on?
Yeah, let's kind of take turns. Zoe, are you ready on your end? It sounds like you've got audio. You just want to like kind of give everybody a brief, hey, this is what's happening, and then we'll just kind of go in order.
Yeah, I'm having a really hard day. And I'm afraid I might cry, so I'm gonna pass and let someone else. My brother, his cancer's back, so
Oh,
anyway, I just
But we're here
that's
for you,
all.
and if you want to share, we're here for you.
Yeah, it's all right. I want to hear.
yeah, I would
everybody.
hold off on that because this
Yeah.
is being recorded, so maybe we might want to do a little bit more private one. You know, we can always do we can do calls in that Facebook Messenger chat too.
Right.
You know, and I think that might be a more appropriate venue for a discussion like that.
That's what I think too. I just wanted you guys to know why I wasn't participating or whatever. Just
Yeah,
listening.
yeah, we want to keep in mind that we're recording here and this is going to be public, so that might be a discussion that
Later, different time.
Yeah, agreed.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, I'm going to just go across the top row, and since I'm the second one from the left, I'll go now. And I'm pretty much almost updated everyone. All right, so I'm transferring within the same company to another division, basically the same role as what I was doing in the high desert. So work, which of course takes precedence over everything right now, is going well, but it's going gangbusters. And I'm starting to lay the groundwork for 5 years from now because I'm planning on taking full Social Security at 67, and then I don't know whether I'll continue to work in this industry or not. I have an interest in learning. Right now, at least it looks that way. I want to learn hypnosis and become a hypnotherapist specializing in past life regression. Yeah, so I'm interested in that. And you know, I mean, if that'll pay the bills by itself, that's all I would do. But if it won't, then I might work on like weight loss and smoking cessation or stuff like that, you know, to fill in. Yeah, it really depends on how it goes over the next 5 years, whether I want to go there and actually convert that into like a third career, so to speak. But otherwise, my wife and I are both doing well. Had a wonderful birthday. It's been a busy year, but it's been overall a good year. I don't know what major changes Pluto is planning on steamrolling through, but yeah, I mean, couple of the planets in the stellium are in the 5th house, so that's probably going to come up first, and then everything in the 6th house. So I'm definitely looking at a career transition of some sort over the next 20 years. There's no question of that. But I mean, given our age, that's only logical anyway. 62 years old, qualify for Social Security as of yesterday. Planning on taking it later, but it's nice to know it's there if they did anything silly at work, because these people have done layoffs many times in the past. So that's a nice feeling to have. I feel pretty secure. My son is still in far northern Wisconsin. He works in auto parts. He's a Gemini. My wife is a Scorpio. She says happy birthday to everyone, by the way. She's a retired, emphasis on the retired astrologer and psychic.
Oh, cool.
She did that for like 35 years. So when I don't know, I ask her or a couple of her friends. Yeah. because there are places where I have huge gaps in my knowledge of astrology, and I'm chewing on it in bits and pieces. And then to top it off, I've got a couple of my industry certifications expiring in a month, so I'm trying to scramble to do the training because I had problems getting access to it because I had 2 different accounts, one for training and one for certifications, and it wasn't working. So I just got that fixed yesterday. Actually, no, I got it fixed this morning. And so anyway, that's kind of what's going on with me. And if I had to give a message to the world, I would say, peace out. Enough of this craziness over in certain places I don't want to mention. And I don't want to make anybody the bad guy, because it seems to me like over there, everybody's being a bad guy at one point or another. So stop, be nice guys or gals or whatever. But just stop being mean to each other. Be good, be kind. And that's it. I'll pass the torch. Sue, you're up.
Me? Which Sue? This Sue. Okay.
Klein.
Okay. Well, 2 years ago, I retired from my job. I worked as a lab tech with the USDA, and I had 33 years with them. And so now the last 2 years, I've just kind of hung around and did not do a whole lot. I mean, I've kind of been working on my house, and I have my roommate here tonight. I'll pull him up. This is
Nice.
Bing.
Hi, Kitty.
He says, who are all these characters?
Yeah, he's wondering about that. It's like, why did you wake me up? I mostly what I do now is I follow YouTubers that are scuba divers, and they do search and recovery for people that are missing. And I do a lot of supporting them, donating to them, whatever causes. And one of them, I'm friends with him on Facebook, and so he's been kind of, we talk back and forth what's going on in their area. And I'm going to get to spend a day with their search and recovery group in June. I'm really excited about that.
Wow.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. And I today was my birthday gift I gave myself, was going to the family farm, and I took a video on my phone, and I sent it to my friend, my YouTuber friend, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Oh, I don't get any." Well, I'm not a YouTuber, so it's okay if it wasn't that great. But, anyway, that's pretty much. I guess my message is just peace and love, and peace, love, and light, and let's like Dan said, let's make it all peace and not all this other stuff. So yeah.
Love it. Kathy Stanley, your turn.
Hi, everybody. So good to see you.
Hi.
I'm having a very busy year. My art is getting quite a bit of attention. I'm in several magazines and just had a very favorable art review from Contemporary Art Curator magazine. So if anyone's interested in taking a look at my art, it's my website is sacredartjourneys.com. And I teach at the California Institute of Integral Studies in San Francisco. I teach undergraduate classes in eco-psychology and creative writing. And I'm working on my PhD in East-West psychology. So things are busy around here.
Yeah. Nice.
All good. And I think if I had a message to offer, what I say on my website is nature plus art equals resilience plus joy. So I encourage everyone to cultivate relationship with place wherever you are. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Kathy, can I ask you a question? What house is your stellium in, or what houses?
My stellium is mostly in the second house, and I'm particularly affected energetically by all the big solar flares that we've been having over the last year at least. We're approaching a solar maximum. So when the solar flares come, like they have, we had a big one a couple of days ago and another big one today. My body really goes through it. Yeah, super sensitive.
Thank you.
Yvette, your turn.
Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to see your faces. I was waiting for this time, like with so much joy, like a little girl.
Me too.
I think that I had a nice year. 2023 was a good year. I was trained. I've been trying to develop a nonprofit organization for the Puerto Ricans in Houston, Texas, for the past 4 years, and it's been a very long process. But last year I was very fortunate to be able to apply for some grants, and I received some training regarding of leadership and how to create a community, and I'm very happy about that. And I'm very hopeful that this is going to develop and that I can also make a living out of it, because I don't want to go back to teaching. I was a teacher for so many years, and that it's not that I don't like it, it's just that I really needed a change. And I think that the biggest change this year was that my life changed radically, because I'm living alone again, as I was living in my 20s and early 30s, because my son moved to another apartment. So the motherhood part, I am just ended. I am an empty nester. And I am also feeling like remembering how it was when I was living alone, being at that time I was a full-time artist, and I'm having all those memories of those times. And I don't know what else to say. I just brought here my little collection of amethyst to share with you.
Nice.
And a little candle, just in case we say happy birthday at the end. And that's all I have to say.
Nice,
Love
nice.
you.
If there was an amethyst in this Zoom somewhere, I would feel like we're off our frequency. Thank you for that, Yvette. I appreciate it. Alfonso, it's your turn.
Namaskar to you all. It's great to see you. How could I share? No, I cannot share. But you know what I am, okay. I was thinking these days that for me was quite surprising to realize that I'm 62. If not because I feel aches here and there, I feel so young. And it passed so quickly, really.
Yeah.
Life is so short, and now I feel like there are many things I want to do, but the issue, the time. the time that I have now and the time that I think I have left. But I see you are doing things and studying, and it's so inspiring. Um, as you know, I came here almost 2 years ago. I came from Myanmar, 30 years, or 3 decades in Asia, in East Asia and Southeast Asia. And then I grew up in Argentina, so to come back to Colombia was something completely new for me. Say half a century away. I left in 1972. I don't know what was the constellation at that time. I cannot remember, but my life changed drastically. I think it may have affected all of us. And then that big stallion in 2020, I think it was, changed my life and brought me back here where I started. So, but what the feeling I get now is that I belong to everywhere and nowhere. Uh, yeah, of course, my background is the Latino culture, Colombian, Argentinian, but I feel like I'm from everywhere, a bit Asian also. My Spaniard, what's it, inheritance, and I'm still in the process of adjusting and knowing this place, Colombia. Is quite complex, the social reality. It could be very charming, but also it's so brutal, the inequity and the issues going on here. I'm thinking that I would like to do some social service because at the moment I am basically putting all my energy in the basic survival. But I would like to give something from my side, but it's quite complex where you are going to do. I was talking to some people and they told me to be a bit careful when you do things because there are a lot of powers and interest. So, but there's a lot of need here to do things. This is what I would like to do, some contribution to society, some communities, and I start doing something also creative, artistic. But the moment is at the moment all my energy is just going in surviving, and I see everybody's here. I think not only Colombia, South America, Latin America in general. My family in Argentina, they're having a very difficult time. And I look back to Myanmar, and Myanmar is still in a very bad situation. The civil war is still there. You never see it in the news, but the country has been balkanized, divided in different states, ethnic minority armies controlling regions. So I'm grateful to the supreme power I'm here. I think we are very, very fortunate, and there are beautiful souls here. I don't want to mention them that they help us to come here, and despite all the difficulties, we are safe, and slowly we're finding stability. That is what we really needed. So I could say we are okay. It's improving very slowly, but we are okay. And now I'm just waiting to see what is going to happen, all these configurations now. Now, I think Mars entering Aquarius recently. Mercury, I think, is also in Aquarius. So I think something is going to change. As my stellium, I have, let me see, I think it's Mars, Moon, and Saturn in number 3, and the rest in fourth. Means the Sun, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury are there. So I don't know how it is going to affect me, but I have some hope. I think maybe it will changes in what I'm doing now. I'm teaching at an academy here in Medellin. It's okay. The place is fantastic. It's beautiful, and yeah, that's it.
Well,
Good.
thank
We're
you.
glad you're there and
Thank
safe.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kathleen Stone.
Does it say Kathleen on there?
It does.
Yeah. That's what my mom calls me when I'm naughty. Um,
We
well,
all got the long form when we were kids, right?
yeah. If the middle name's in there, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I am sitting in my little house and on San Juan Island, and I've had very uncharacteristically lazy 3 days. I took on a catering job that was a retreat for a group of academics. We have a University of Washington has a lab, marine science lab here. So I operated my kitchen, which is it's meal service for the locals and anybody who comes around, and that it was open on the same days as this catering. So I did a lot of 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. well, 4 days. And so I just didn't get out of bed till 3 o'clock 2 days ago. And yesterday I got up at 11, and today I got up at 9:30. So yeah, I'm trying to let myself be all right with that because I'm sort of a workaholic. I have the same Alfonso. I have my stellium in the third and fourth house as well. So I don't know if you were born. I don't know when you were born, but I was born at midnight on the 5th, so I'm kind of right there
Yeah,
in the middle of it all.
I was born past midnight on the 4th.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
Ascendente Scorpio.
oh, me too. Yeah. So let's
Same
see.
here, same here. The same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah,
Midnight the 4th, ascended in Scorpio.
ah.
So Yvette is
Well,
my twin.
I was born on the 5th too.
Who's that?
Interesting.
I was Sue. I was born on the 5th too.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to find
At
Sue's.
lunchtime
Oh, there.
though. My mom missed
Oh.
lunch, but yeah.
Picked a good time to show up.
Well,
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder. I mean, really, I love being different. I think that's part of our fiber, to being individuals. I'm trying to. Maybe because it's fourth house. I've always been interested in cooking, and I've fed people. I'm a chef and a baker, but I also want to do my writing. I want to be a writer, or I am a writer who spends all her energy doing something else. So I'm trying to simplify my operation, which is very acrobatic because I guess my propensity for chaos and creativity and inventing things. My menu changes radically all the time or every week. But anyway, I'm trying to tone that down so I can use some of that energy to write scripts. I have a degree in screenwriting, so I want to tell stories. Kind of want some creativity that can go wider than meal service and last longer than the human digestive process. So what else? Oh, I know. I've been a peace activist back in the 80s, early 80s, when there was that nuclear free movement, the freeze, and I went with this. I had a lot of peace marching with various groups, but so it's something that I care about. And I live up here where there's I think the biggest cache of nuclear weapons is at this little island called Indian Island. It's actually a native island. But anyway, so it's sort of ground zero. But so when the geopolitical things are happening, I have a lot of, tugging and turmoil and worrying. And I came up with this image because I feel like we are manifestors. Well, they say that the fixed signs are good at manifesting, and I have definitely experience with manifesting with my thoughts. And I just decided if I ever see that image of a mushroom cloud, that instead of reacting with, horror and fear and dread, I'm gonna make it me. That is me. I am all my might and my force and my power is just gonna go out and it's gonna, it's gonna make itself known. It's energy. It's not. So just to use that image for something besides debilitating myself or emotionally, bringing myself down. So that's my latest thing. I've been trying to figure out how to change these fears that kind of I learned, because we all came up in that era where we were, well, I don't know if everybody, but I was definitely afraid of such things. But I feel like it's pivotal time to figure out how to do things differently. And if it starts with your thoughts, then I feel like I want to, play with that some more. Like, what negative things can I flip so that I can be affirming something I want instead of affirming something I don't want. So, and let's see, I have an empty nest it's been about 2 months. I had children starting at 25 and I have 3 kids. The last one was I got pregnant at 42. So I've been an active parent for 35 years. So now there's like ice in the freezer, and the house looks like it did when I left, So, but there is, like, I was wondering, what will I do? I just hit the bottle, or I just wasn't sure what that isolation, or because I have such a pretty social life. It's very stimulating. So I come home and, but I think I'm doing good. I'm keeping it together and we're riding the transition, and yeah. So and as far as the Pluto things, God, isn't it ominous? Like, I hear such mixed reviews about this radical, surprising change, and not, like, that's going to be happening. And so trying to use my favorable vision, but yeah, should be interesting. But I'm really glad that we found each other and we're doing this. And hopefully we can, with all of our hopes and dreams, it's our time to help and thrive personally and collectively.
I was gonna say too, I was thinking as you were talking about a couple of things, and one, the quiet and isolation when you get home. I don't know about the rest of you, but I find as an Aquarian, I really need some downtime, some alone time to be able to just kind of process everything. And so I find that when I get time by myself, that's kind of precious in a way. Yeah. The other thing too is as much as I've heard people freak out, in the astrology community about Pluto and Aquarius, to me, it's a change agent. I mean, people think, oh, it's the planet of death. It's like the death card in tarot. It means death and rebirth. In other words, transformation. And it's more about the transformation. And I think the more you fight it, the more it's going to be a problem. But if you kind of go with the flow, and I tended to do that most of my life, I think it's going to be a lot easier on us if we do. Just a couple of comments there, but I'll turn it back over to you, Kathleen, if you have anything more to add.
Okay, Dad. All right, no.
I was waiting for that.
I think I'm done. I think I'm ready to hear it from the next person.
Okay, and then Tina, you're up next in the grid.
I know. Funny, I was thinking, Dan, when you said about how nothing to fear with Pluto, that's spoken from somebody who has Pluto very close to his ascendant. So you're very, very familiar with Pluto. Myself also. So I have Pluto in the first house and I'm considered Plutonian. So
yeah, we're like twins on the charts pretty much.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I have to tone myself down a lot because I can be scary to people and I don't even realize it. So and I don't know if that's always the intensity of the Aquarian stellium or if it's the Pluto on the ascendant kind of thing, or in the first house.
It might be
Um,
one or two of the, it might be either of those, but I also think it could have something to do with that Aries moon that gives an intensity
Yeah, then I
too.
have the Aries moon. Of course, you do too. Yeah. So, well, I'll stay with Pluto. One of the things I've been hearing about, I think I was gonna, in the group chat, um, I was going to share some, but I forgot. I got busy and I never got back to it, but I was going to share some links to some podcasts I've been listening to, and I'll still do that. But they've been talking even Chris Brennan's been talking about it, and a couple other people are talking about how the planets are all coming, like Pluto's sitting at 0 degrees Aquarius right now, and the planets are coming in one by one. And conjuncting at 0 degrees with Pluto as they enter Aquarius. And I thought, for us, how cool is this, that we're almost getting a glimpse, like, and it's like, so on February 5th was Mercury was the first planet to come in. So the sun came in first and then Pluto came in. Or, yeah, they weren't conjunct together in Aquarius. They came in one by one, separate.
I think the Sun and Pluto were almost conjunct when they entered Aquarius, though.
Yeah, but I think that they were conjunct in Capricorn, and then the sun entered and then Pluto entered. So the first actual planet to be conjunct with Pluto was Mercury on the 5th. And so I'm taking note of what is going on in that time during the conjunction to see if that's going to play out when Pluto starts transiting those planets. So I'm just kind of getting a sense of what's happening in that time. So the next planet is Mercury, or Mars is going to, I think it's on Wednesday. I think it's on the 14th or 15th. I don't know. I'm going to check. And then after that'll be Venus. So all our personal planets will be kind of moving through, and we'll get you can notice it or not, but I'm going to take note. And what I noticed on the day, I actually forgot about it, but I looked back on the 5th, on the day that Mercury was going through. I spent a lot of time thinking about my retirement, the future, what I'm going to do next, like that. I was really focused on that. And I actually came to this place where I have been on the fence about so many things. Do we sell the farm? Do we stay farming? Do I get into something else? Do I move back to Chicago, be with my mother? Like, so many different things. And I actually came to a conclusion, like, I think I'm going to stay farming for the next 8 years. So till I'm 70, I think I can do it. As long as we stay healthy and, nothing, well, if anything, so if I look at this, if we get injured or a health issue, that's one thing. Or if somebody comes and offers me like a ridiculous amount of money for my farm, that's another thing. So it's like, those would be the things. But if none of those happen, we're going to stay and just keep going for the next 8 years. And why did I pick 8 years? I don't know.
Social Security, maybe?
Thank you.
Good number.
Because of finances. So I thought, okay, that'll be a really good time. We'll both be taking Social Security. We'll get the maximum amount. And then I realized that I was going through it with my astrologer who I work with. And we came to realize when I realized that I was thinking about all of that on the 5th, came to realize that in 8 years, or that year, what is that? 8 years from now.
God.
The first year that that Mercury or Pluto is going to be conjunct on Mercury, on my Mercury. And so it's going to cross over Mercury 5 times. It's like the longest. So I have this like, okay, so what am I going to do next? So I'm thinking it probably has something to do with Mercury, you know.
I'm
maybe.
going to interject something real quick, briefly
Sure.
here. You have Virgo rising, like I
Yeah.
do, I believe so. That means Mercury is the ruler of both of our charts.
Right. And also our midheaven. So, which is Gemini. Yeah. So I talk a lot. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much it. I mean, things are going well as can be expected. I'm writing a lot of grants right now. The USDA, thank you, Sue, for your service. The USDA is finally giving has a lot of grants for small farms, and so we're just like writing grants like crazy so we can get some equipment so we can expand our operation and do stuff. And so it's good. It's all good. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. Back into the vegetable game, pretty much full force, going to markets, open the farm stand back up. I have an online store. So it's all good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yay.
Okay, Becky, I think you're up.
I am.
Mhm.
Where's my? Okay, wait a second. Am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're
Can
good. We hear you.
Oh,
We can hear
okay. Hello, happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
family.
Pete.
So let's see, 62. This last year has been a little bit hard. I lost my brother in December, and we're going through all the. He passed away suddenly, and he had no will. He had no insurance or anything like that. So we're going through a probate and everything like that. So I think the next 6 months are going to be really iffy, up and downy, kind of like. But so I thought my son, he's in the Air Force and he's in Italy with his 2 sons, and they're on the Naval Air Base there in Signoia, and right by Mount Etna that likes to go off or whatever.
It's
But
a little sparky, yeah.
Yeah, I try not to worry. But and then my daughter Sarah, she lives with me here in Las Vegas, and I'm not even poking my nose out tonight with that Super Bowl going on down there. I don't want to have anything to do with that right now. But so I'm still working at the FAA tower at the Las Vegas airport, and we train air traffic controllers on the test simulator, and that meet a lot of wonderful people that way. So our students are just pretty awesome. So, and I have a question then on the stellium. Mine's I have the 7 planets in the 6th house, and then my rising is Leo, and I guess my Pluto would be just barely in Virgo, maybe. My midheaven would be Taurus. Oh, I better look that up. But I thought, yeah, if you listen to a lot of tarot readers and stuff, I like to listen to Pam Gregory and there's a few of them, Steve Judd, Penny Thornton, and a few of them in that. But they, you know, each one of them paints a different picture on that. So, but I'm not that big of a sharer.
You're doing great. Oops.
Are you kind of wrapped up?
Yeah.
Okay. I just
Thank
wanted to
you.
make sure before I ask someone else. Okay. All right, Christine, you're next on the grid.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was Elizabeth. Well, I wish I knew more about astrology. I'm feel like I'm pulled in so many different directions. I don't have enough time to focus on any one thing to get up to speed on it. But so I was born on the 9th, and my planets are in the 11th house, except Saturn is just over the border in the 10th. I don't really know what that means, but so my past few years or past 2 or 3 years have been dominated by family stuff. It's the Saturn return. Are we still in the Saturn return?
No, we should be done with that by now.
Yeah.
No, but it's been rough. So it was all about. So my mom died years ago, and then in 2021 we had to put my dad in a memory care facility because he had dementia. Well, 2022, he died. He ended up catching COVID and died. And so this whole thing has been dominated by becoming an orphan and going through our childhood home, and so it's difficult family situation. Well, in the process, I found my actual birth certificate and discovered that my birth time wasn't what I thought it was. So I'm actually have Gemini. Sorry.
Oh.
So that explains a lot. I feel like that's more fitting of me. I'm Gemini rising. So anyway, we're still going through it, but last year was really tough, and so it was chaotic. So I'm still recovering from that. But I feel like this Pluto in Aquarius, I have a lot of hope that things are gonna change for the better. Like, I feel like I was born to help bring in the age of Aquarius, and I just want to travel and meet people all over the world and help with projects that are, humanitarian based and contribute somehow. So, but I felt like a big failure because I've been through so many stressful things, and felt like I couldn't overcome. But I wish that I could get a professional astrologer consultation, because I still don't understand a lot about my birth chart.
Yeah, I've got a lot of holes in what I know too. I'm really weak on houses and aspects. I mean, I kind of generally get aspects, but the houses and I don't know a lot about, but the planets themselves and like kind of what they're about, there I feel fairly confident. Yeah, but I wouldn't call you a failure by any means. You're just dealing with a lot of stressful events in life that everybody goes through at some point or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate with the loss your mom thing a long time ago, because my mom passed in 2003, and thankfully my dad's still around, but he's in his early 80s, and he's having not so much mental issues but physical. And then on top of it, he bought a house way out in the country, and now he's finding out that winters in Wisconsin out in the country are not for somebody in their 80s. Yeah, so I had a pretty tough time, but yeah, don't take it personal. It's just life.
I've been really conscious of how fast life goes by. My dad was born in 1929, and his parents started dating in 1920, and we went through the process of cleaning out my childhood home, and I have brought tons of stuff into my house. All these pictures, like pictures of my grandparents in the 1920s and stuff. So I feel like I have to spend time getting all these pictures and newspaper articles digitalized. Oh, but I have to make money to pay my, to eat. And then, oh, I want to go help save the planet. And I was like, how can I do all these things?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I often wish I had about 3 clones.
Mhm.
Mhm.
On a fun note, I talked to Dean Board last night. He lives in Wisconsin. He lives in West Allen, which is a suburb of Milwaukee.
Mhm.
He doesn't participate. He doesn't participate in the group. He has in the past, but he doesn't really care about it. Anyway, I talked to him pretty frequently. He was born on January 28th. And he was, oh, he won't want me to tell this, but he's with a 29-year-old girl named Heavenly. A 25-year-old girl named, anyway, that was fun.
Okay.
She asked me, have you ever been to Wisconsin and Milwaukee? I said, yeah. Ken Paul was a flight dispatcher and he flew me to Milwaukee one time. We were going to go to LA to see Sheryl Crow because there was a contest to win tickets to the concert, and we ended up with one ticket. And he said, well, you can have the ticket. And I said, oh, I think I just want to go home. So he flew me back to North Carolina.
What
But
time
anyway,
of year was this?
I don't remember, but I think it was like springtime. But anyway, yeah, I was not expecting he could fly anybody anywhere anytime he wanted. So he just flew me up there, and so I stayed there for one day and came back home.
Could you talk a little bit about your friendship with him? I'd like to know a little bit more about him. He's the guy who kind of started the group, right?
Initiated the, he wrote the first message saying, let's get this party started. And he created a message board with different, it was one of the forums with different message boards for different topics. This was like 2006. And we had a global love day here in North Carolina, and he flew down for that. And that was the first time I met him. So I met him 3 times in person. There was another time when we met in Atlanta, Georgia, to see Sheryl Crow, and we sat in row 62 or what? Yeah, I think it was row 62. It was like amazing.
That's cool.
But yeah, his brother or somebody in his family has deleted his profile, so that's unfortunate. They probably had no idea in the world what role he played.
Probably not. It's sad that they didn't memorialize it, because there is a way on Facebook when somebody passes that you can convert their profile, if you're a family member, to a memorial page. And I think that would have been more appropriate,
And
to be honest.
I went to the messages that I exchanged with him in Messenger. Every one of them says it's gone. It's gone because he's gone. I can't see the messages anymore.
And that is one of the things that really drives me crazy about computers and the internet in all is, formats come and formats go. File formats get obsoleted. There's so many sites that were great that are just gone, or they've been taken over by another company and just trashed. And
Yeah.
and to me, that's one of the nastiest parts of capitalism, in being involved in the internet.
Yeah, for a time we had a listserv group on Yahoo Groups, and that's gone. They deleted all that.
Oh yeah, that's been gone for a while now. Yeah, I had a couple of Yahoo groups too, and they've all gone bye-bye. Yeah. I'm lucky my blogger blogs are still around, but yeah, I used to do a lot of online poetry, and there were poetry forums, and those have become either ghost towns or so hard to use because of all the pop-up ads that they're almost unusable now. And one of them, the website was a privately run website, and I had like 1,800 poems published on there. And now they're locked in this old format. I got a copy of the website. I used to be able to get into it and extract the poetry out of the copy of it that I had. And now Microsoft has obsoleted the format, so I can't even get into it anymore to pull stuff out of there. And of course, with a list that long, it was, like taking me forever to extract that and put it on my blog. So a lot of that stuff is, I'm gonna have to bust out one of my old XP machines and try to figure out how to set it up on there without connecting anything to the internet. I have to be able to get back at that. But
Dan, can we hear from the rest of the people that we haven't heard from? I'm gonna have to crash soon and go to bed. This is beyond my bedtime, guys. I'd love to hear from the rest who haven't spoken.
I think the last one left that I see in here is Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, are you still there?
We have Sharon too, don't we have Sharon?
Yeah, I'll be very brief. I just want to say that I feel like a shift happening. Like I really do. Like even if you just take like 40 years ago, I visited the West Bank I was studying poli-sci in college, and when all the time that I have talked about Palestine in my life, you get shunned. You get like no one wants to hear that, and then all of a sudden this year, like people are like seeing it differently, and I feel like also climate change is coming. It's like I've been an environmentalist since the 70s, and all my favorite organizations like Earth Day and Greenpeace and they all became 50 years old and we're still at the same. And then all of a sudden this seems to be like at a tipping point where we're gonna either we're all gonna burn to death or we're gonna do something about it. But I feel like I don't know. At the same time, I feel like we're in a crisis, and this is we're like teetering on the edge of an abyss. But I feel like at the same time, we could also do something about it. I feel like for the first time since like in the 70s, we really felt a momentum. Like people were like talking about the Equal Rights Amendments, which never passed, for women, or like even Nixon made the Environmental Protection Agency, but then somehow that has become a topic of discussion. Like we don't all want to, like, doesn't everybody want a clean environment? And I just feel like we're just at the point where we're going to go one way or the other. It's either going to go south or else it's going to like improve. But I'm really, really hoping. And I feel like all of us, I feel like you super Aquarians are all like, we're poised to like make a difference at this point. I really feel it. Although I feel very stressed and intense and like, oh my God. But I've been really feeling this Aquarian energy in recent weeks. And let's just all pray and hope, and let's all join together and like, let's make it better.
Out of time.
Sharon?
Yeah, I agree. And I think we're here to witness some fundamental breakdowns of some major institutions around the world in order to create a global, more unified existence on our planet. And I feel strongly about that. And yes, and when I'm sort of grappling with like what am I going to do now after the Saturn return? How do I want to make a difference? I'm freed up now. My kids have been gone for a few years already, and I'm retired. And so I'm like, where do I want to put my energy and my focus? And part of it is selfish. I'm writing and painting and drawing and involved in a new relationship, which is time consuming. And and part of it is where do I want to focus in some volunteer aspect that you feel like you're really going to make a difference, spending time in yeah, it could be minute and very localized, or it can be expansive. I mean, I used to be involved with Amnesty International back in the 80s and 90s. And I'm not at a point where I'm like struggling with a career or trying to climb a corporate ladder, or I'm not there anymore. I don't have to do that anymore, thank God. And so I don't know, I'm really struggling with where I've thought about maybe doing hypnosis also, like getting trained into that. And I'm such an empath, though. It's really hard for me to be around people and absorbing and taking in a lot of those issues, because I'm also a Reiki healer and a feng shui person. I'm certified in feng shui, face reading, and feng shui home design. And so it's tough to go in. I was a realtor for 12 years. It's very hard for me to go into these homes without shutting off my empathic ability. It becomes debilitating. So I'm just sort of reevaluating everything right now. But I feel intuitively that Pluto is not going to be the doom and damnation and the horror, fear in fear mongering disaster for us. It's designed to break down and change. And I'm very optimistic that we're going to move forward in a very positive way. I feel like I'm going to become a happier person and a more grounded person. But I also don't feel like we're going to live long enough to see the results of the breakdown of what's going to happen, to see all the fundamental changes to see the results of the fundamental changes. I don't think we're going to. We might be. And I've had some personal issues like Christine, like we all have. I lost my father a month ago, and I was very involved in his caregiving and having to travel 4.5 hours to see him and to do shift work with my sisters and nursing homes and admissions into hospitals and ER and we gave him last rites 3 times in 2 years. He kept coming back. So that's a roller coaster in and of itself, an emotional roller coaster. Grief is strange. It creeps up in times that we least expect it. And but you get through it. You get through it. So I'm excited for the future. I really am. And I'm taking it day by day, though. And yeah, you put pressure on yourself, but you just sort of keep going, you keep trying, and you don't give up. I mean, that's my monologue. You have it. But I'm so grateful for Christine and Elizabeth and Dan, and hopefully Dan, I might be in California next month, so hopefully I can see you and Kathleen. And
that'd be nice.
Yeah, I as I travel around, I do try to some outreach and try to meet people one-on-one. I'd like to get the Texas group together.
What part of California?
I'm going to be in LA.
Oh, that's a couple hours away. That's not too far.
Yeah, but I'd like to do a side trip, to go hang out and meet y'all. And we'll see if I get there. I've got that weekend, it just got bombarded with other things pulling me in different directions. So, but I'm going to try to make that a priority to get to LA and then see y'all.
That would be nice. That'd be really nice.
Yeah. So that's it for me.
Yeah, we'll have to compare notes on the hypnosis stuff later too.
Yeah, I do have some friends involved in it, and one has a school, and I've thought about it for a couple of years already. It's just put it on the big list. There's so much more I want to do. And
That
try.
just popped in on me in the last month and a half. You know, I've been more interested in like shamanism and, you know, shamanic practice, you know, journey work
Mhm.
for a long time, but the hypnosis thing just it seems to me like almost an extension of the type of trance meditation that you're doing in shamanic work.
Mhm.
Good night,
Bye,
Kathy.
I'm gonna,
Bye.
great to
Thank
see you.
Kathy.
Yes.
Bye, Kath.
Bye, Kathy.
Bye, everyone.
Lots of
Bye.
love.
Good night.
Sharon.
Sharon, I have a question. Where's your stellium, or where's your rising? What rising sign do you have?
I have a Sag rising. My stellium's in the second house, and I have an Aries moon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
And-
of us have
Little,
moon, don't we?
Yeah. And with Kathleen Stone, to your point about manifesting, yeah, that's something that happens to me too. And I'm real careful with it, because if I start focusing on it, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna get it, good or bad. So, and I think we are moving in that higher plane level more and more. And maybe it's our age too.
well, we're about due for a third chapter in life, most of us at
Yeah.
this age. You
Yeah.
know, so that makes a lot of sense, you know, and at this age, you know, it's probably pretty natural to want to give back. I mean, as a child, you're taking everything in. As an adult, you're refining it and working with it and using it to sustain your own life. But as a senior, now it's your chance to give back to the community. I think that's a natural place to be at our age, or looking in that direction. I really
And-
think that's fundamental to where we're at, aside from the astrology.
Yeah, I agree. And it's just a matter of deciding on where you land, what you want to
Mhm.
focus your energy
Mhm.
into. And yeah, so
Yeah, to Elizabeth's point about climate, I started blogging on climate around 2002, 2004. I had a blog that was entirely focused on that, and I followed article after article after article on the topic. And I don't think it's that hopeless. I think there's a lot of hope, but I think we also have a huge hill to climb, because we're pretty close to a couple of really big tipping points right now. And we may have to shift gears and turn towards adaptation in some regards too, you know, but by the same token, our economic and industrial structure is moving in a much more clean direction. It is, and there's a lot of good news happening. I just don't know if it's happening fast enough.
yeah.
That's the worry.
Yeah,
But don't
Jeff
be.
at the Earth Summit in Rio, and they passed the first climate protocol, not the protocol, the convention, the first draft framework convention. And I thought in '92, I thought then we're like, great, we've got a convention, and we're gonna, and no, all these years later, still in the same.
Yeah, I
Well,
think our DNA is going to fundamentally evolve to adapt to warmer climates around the world.
yeah, but I'm seeing on the technological side, I'm seeing massive shifts in energy production happening. There's all over the place. There's solar going in, there's wind farms going in everywhere. They're
Mhm.
starting to add a lot of battery storage, pumped hydro storage, all that kind of stuff that takes away the intermittent nature of wind and solar, because they store the excess energy when the wind's blowing and when the sun's shining, and then they use the batteries to keep producing power, cleanly generated power after hours. And coal's almost gone. I mean, at least in the United States, and it's heading that direction. The rest of the world too. Natural gas is starting to look shaky. There's a lot of good news stories on the technology side that are happening. Battery technology is getting better and better. You know, I see story after story about how batteries are being improved, and there's new developments that are making batteries way better and way more not only charge faster, hold more charge, but also not inherently not prone to fire like the lithium batteries are now. So there's a lot of really, really good stuff happening on the technology side. The policy side is shaky because, well, look at the people running the show. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
The people making profits off the old technology like fossil fuels, they don't want to let so
They're
No.
not gonna
the economics are not on their side anymore, though.
yeah. The CO2 emissions are not going to go away overnight. That's going to take
No.
a huge amount of time and money and commitment. They, you know, the airlines can say anything they want about it, but it's not, I don't see it going anywhere right now. And
I think that even we stop utilizing the fossil fuels right now, still the global warming will continue for some time. And we need to think about mitigation. I think that is what is
Yes.
going to happen. It means there are many locations around the world that are already suffering, and it's affecting the economy, agriculture, there'll be famines, migrations. So it's really serious. Even if we change overnight, that is not going to happen. Still, there are effects that we cannot avoid.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, the grants that we're writing from the USDA is all about resilience and saving water and energy, you know, to get better equipment that we can use for farming that is more, you know, in tune to the environment and keeping our farms resilient as well, you know, with drought, especially in this area, a lot of the areas with drought and you know, flooding, drought. Right now, our field is flooded.
Are these federal grants or are these state grants?
Both.
Both.
We're doing well. The state. So it's interesting. So I'm writing 3 right now. One's with the USDA, the other's with the ODA, with the Oregon Department of Ag, that got money from the USDA, and then there's some farming organizations that got funding to help farmers. So they're giving out grant money as well. So yeah, some of them are for equipment, some of them for you know, just helping us to yeah, kind of streamline our system so we're a little bit more resilient. Because it's going to get tough in the next few years. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty hopeful though. I'm pretty optimistic as well. And at the risk of being the weirdo of most weirdo of the weirdos.
You can only hold that title for a minute. That's like a King of the Hill game with this bunch.
Yeah.
I have a tendency to look far into the future sometimes and look into the past, and I play around with the wheel. And I looked at when we're having our 3rd Saturn return, what's going to be going on at that time.
90s.
And I know, get this, you guys. During our 3rd Saturn return is going to be exactly the same time as our Pluto opposition, which is Pluto will have moved out of Aquarius and be at 9 degrees of Pisces. So, and that's when we're going to have, and that's late. I mean, that's late in our life. So we got to stick around and we've got things to do. We're going to be like 88 years old, I think, then. But yeah, we've got.
Well, there's an awful lot of aging research going on right now too. So, you know, it might things might change a lot over the next 15, 20 years.
Oh, technology is going to change incredibly in the next 20 years with Pluto, you know, transiting through Aquarius. So
I'm hoping the technology can save us.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh,
I
what about
follow all the
what
research
about
on
extraterrestrial? That's supposed to be an Aquarian
Yeah.
thing. Like maybe we'll have more disclosures. Maybe we can, who knows, maybe
Yes.
we'll collaborate with a race that has had these problems and has solved them. Who knows?
Either that
Exactly.
or they'll stop
Yeah.
waiting for the clown show and just show up. That
I
could
hope
happen.
so. I mean, it's just still, it seems like statistically very probable that we're not alone. And I
Yeah,
tend to think
we're not
that's a good
alone.
thing. I mean, I think it's a good thing. I mean, yeah,
I
and I
think
would
it's a
be
good thing.
excited.
But on the same token, you know, from everything that I've seen on the topic from people who think they know, and yeah, we don't know what we're getting there either. I don't
Right.
know. Is it just
Yeah.
more people from different worlds to squabble with, or is it more people from different worlds to work with?
Well,
That's the question on that.
my
You
guess
guys are
is
so funny.
it's probably both, or many, because
Mhm.
Right.
if there really are that many races that can actually connect, they would have, I mean, there would probably be some favorable and some inimical,
Yeah.
anyway.
Can you
Who
imagine
knows?
the diversity issues then?
Well, might
Yep.
unite us on the planet here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we as Aquastels, we came from somewhere else. This is not the first planet we have been.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
who else
My wife
identifies.
thinks so for sure.
I believe that too.
Elizabeth heard me.
I know the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, we've got this though. All of us are going to be important going forward. I really feel like we're going to start playing the roles we've been rehearsing all our lives.
I
Yeah.
know. Finally, this is our time. We're gonna do it.
That's right.
When I was 12 years old, I wanted to save the world. I'm still working on it, but I think I'm getting close. I don't know.
I can remember being in 7th grade and trying to understand how we can stop war from happening and stuff. All that. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
I was always that weirdo that had these idealistic visions of how the world should be.
Right. Yeah.
Personally, I think people that are promoting war are the weirdos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as a kid, I was thinking about things that most kids weren't thinking about as well. Just,
Yeah.
Wasn't talking about them much though. At least I wasn't.
no.
But yeah. I wonder who that is with the iPhone 2 there in the grid. There's someone that came in iPhone 2.
I let them in.
It's a spy.
iPhone 2, do you want to talk a
no.
little bit?
The
What?
resident alien.
They haven't been disruptive or anything. Let's see. Can we? Oh, no.
Wouldn't it
Can't-
be?
Maybe somebody else came in on another tried that and that didn't
Oh.
actually come in on. Is that maybe
Where-
Zoe's?
Yeah, where is
Yeah.
Zoe?
Did we let's message them. Can somebody send them?
Yeah.
They were there when I came on. So, but maybe it's an extraterrestrial.
That's right. The resident alien.
Gluing
All
in
right.
on
It's
an
true.
iPhone.
When I look at the list of names, there's no. It says 11 participants, and there's no iPhone. Oh wait, there it is.
That's
Huh. Well, they're not talking.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
9 right now.
Mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're not responding in chat either.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Well.
Dan, we're welcome to attend the next one if we're available.
Oh
Also.
yeah, absolutely. It's not limited on. I
Okay.
think either both Elizabeth and Andrea have pro Zoom accounts, and I think you can have up to 100 people in.
Anytime. But the problem is I was hoping to get the people like the Australia and like
Yes.
Danny.
Yeah.
One time I remember I read tarot and Danny did my I Ching, and it was like 8 a.m. and that was a good time for him. 8 a.m. on the East Coast.
Well,
so maybe we could try another third time.
my work shifts.
I enjoy it.
Susie.
My work shifts are going to get way earlier, so I'm going to have to, as much as I'm dreading this part, have to become an early bird for a while. So, and I am not. I'm totally a night owl, unfortunately.
Me too.
Yeah.
I cannot be ready to go anywhere in the morning before 10 or 11 a.m.
If I didn't have an alarm clock and a paycheck to worry about, trust me, Christine, I would be just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turn the alarm clock off. I wake up at 10 and go to bed at 1.
See, I'm the
Oh, it's Susie. It's Susie Gagarella, and she can't get in. She messaged me in the chat. Susie, can you hear us? Just chat at me if you can.
Oh.
She can't get in? Oh, she can't. Oh, I remember seeing her actually. I admitted her.
Yeah, I thought I saw her.
Huh.
Oh.
Yeah, it says 11 participants.
Do you guys remember that when Ken first got things started, he referred to that article? It was like in the Aquarian Digest or something, and it talked about our group.
Yeah.
Do you remember that article?
Yeah, she was going to do a survey of us to see what our lives were like, and I never heard any more about that.
Right.
So.
I wonder it'd be interesting to have an updated kind of a analysis from somebody like that.
I think we need to start doing like biographical recordings of each one of us, like almost like an interview format where one of us interviews, like we pair up and interview each other.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And do
Great
like
idea.
bios, but keeping in mind that if we're going to record, just like with this thing, we want to keep private.
Mm-hmm.
Did that we
All right.
did it
So Susie says she can hear and see us. She just can't talk. So Susie, if you want to talk, if you want to chat at me, I will go ahead and relay what you're saying.
Did she approve the recording? Maybe that's keeping her from.
That keeps you, if you don't approve the recording, then you can't unmute yourself. I learned that recently on a Zoom call.
Maybe that is it.
When you all were in grade school, were you treated like you were weird or something like that? Like, did people?
Well, yeah, I had a terrible time in grade school. I hated it.
I hated high school.
That too.
I was super shy. I was known in school for being shy, and now you can't shut me up.
Yeah. Sue, I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you on that.
But I was bullied.
I always thought I was extroverted, and then I did all those personality tests and found out kept coming back I was an introvert, and I was like, so I figured out I'm just a really talkative introvert. But I think it's more about how you get energized. Like I get more energized by being alone and not being with people, whereas I enjoy being with people, but it drains me. And so then I have to kind of retreat. And so that's my introvertedness. And then extroverted people get energized by being around people. So I've learned that.
Yeah, I do better with alone time too, but I think I learned to speak up a little bit more after I started doing live poetry readings in Chicago. Now there was a really vibrant live poetry scene there, and of course, being who I am, I landed at probably the wildest place you could go for your first live poetry reading. I went to the Green Mill Slam with Mark Slam Pappy Smith, and read my very first time at the Green Mill Poetry Slam, which is the original. And Poetry Slam is different than your average poetry reading because it's interactive with the audience. And if they start doing like this, that means step it up or get off the stage. And if they start stomping the boots, it means get the hook out and yank them. All right. And
talking about poetry, did you bring a poem to share?
I did not. I had so much work stuff going on this weekend. I didn't have time to settle in and write. I'm hoping I can have something written by the next Zoom, because I'm planning on being on Zoom too as well.
Yeah, let's all meet up then too, if you can make it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
11 p.m. so I can
Yeah.
make it.
Me
Fun.
too.
I won't
My
be able
cat, my cat will be there too.
Yeah, I'll think about you guys.
Right. Good night, everybody.
All right, real
It was
quick.
good to see you all. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy
Yes.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
everybody.
Yeah.
Real quick, I wanted to say, Susie said it'll take way too long to chat everything. I'll post a bit in Black Ops later. Much love to you all.
Mwah.
Awesome.
Love you all.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Love you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, coordinators.
Thank
I'm
you.
not sure how to stop it.
Let's see.
And